Welcome back to BS with Brian Simpson. Don't forget, if you want to support the pod, like, share, subscribe, goddamn. If you want advice from the advice champ, email me at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. If you want to come see me on tour, go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com. The links are up there, or on any of my socials, which is BS Comedian. You can click on the link in the bio for the link tree. Yeah, so pretty soon here, I was recently in New York for Flagrant. I don't know if I told this story last week, but my dumb ass, I was there. I went to Detroit, then New York to do the podcast. And I couldn't sleep. So wait a minute, let me rewind. In Detroit, a bunch of niggas gave me a bunch of weed, or one nigga gave me a bunch of weed. I'm not sure, but literally like two back-to-back nights, I go in the green room and there's a box of like edibles and pens and flour and all this other shit, and it's so much shit that I'm giving shit away, because people give me stuff all the time. Please keep doing that. But I went to. But I flew to New York. I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? And I'm in the dark. I'm just digging through my bag, and the dark is just a bag. I have a bag full of edibles and shit from Detroit. You know what I mean? And I just dig through. I find a gummy. I open the gummy. I eat the gummy. Not even thinking. Just real quick. Not even thinking. And I wake up like a few hours later, fucking awake and high as a motherfucker. And I'm like, oh shit, this is too high. So from that point to when I had to do Flagrant, I was trying to not be high. I was trying to decrease. Bro, I was so motherfucking high. I was high all day. And I'm like, what the fuck was in it? And I knew, like, I ain't think nothing of it, because when I bit into it, I was like, that's a gummy. But then when you get to the middle, it's like a crunchy, almost like Sour Patch Kid shit in the middle. And I was like, well, that's unusual. That like my spidey sense was tingling when I felt that, like, something's off. You shouldn't eat gummies in the dark. I mean, come on, Brian, right? And I'm like, that shit fucked me up. And finally today, I'm digging through my shit and I find the thing, right? This shit is called Band. That's the brand. THC infused, full spectrum. I'm like, I'm looking at the nutrition facts, because they got that in Michigan. This shit is 193 milligrams. Why? First of all, why not 200 or 150? But whatever. The point is, that's not a casual, for me. That's not casual. That's like Uncle Joey casual. For me, that's like, I would never do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never eat 100 is where, like, because I use weed to go to sleep. Sometimes I use it to be creative. You know what I mean? So that's why I prefer edibles. They hit hard, knock you the fuck out, right? But I would never take 200 milligrams. Like, I would never do that for any reason. Because I'm trying to be high so I can go to bed, and I'm not trying to be high when I wake up. You feel me? I'm not trying to be high when I wake up in the morning. Actually, sometimes I am trying to do that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do that sometimes, but not like this. This is too high for me, especially to be on one of the biggest podcasts in the world. I don't even remember what I said. I don't even remember the interview. I was so high. I wasn't even in my body. I mean, I'm sure I was hilarious, but it hasn't come out yet, so I have no idea. So this is where half of my stress is coming from. Fucking Banned. These niggas need to sponsor me now. Yeah, this should be banned. Nobody needs this. Nobody needs 200 milligrams. Or I'm sorry, 193 point, those letters are small. 193.45 milligrams. Nobody needs that. Anyway, let's get to these emails, baby. Hillary. Let me see, All right. Thanks for reading my email, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to head down to the county building after work today. Did I read this already? I'll head down to the county building after work today. If I get some food assistance, I can save up to $5,000, $6,000. Did I read this last week? I feel like I read that. No, because that was on the 2nd. Today's the 6th. Oh, no. Yes, I did. Because we did this. When we do this? Thursday? The last one?
Yeah.
And what day of the week was that? The 2nd? The 1st. Okay, so then I didn't read that. Okay. Well, no problem, Jonathan. Appreciate you, brother. This is from Nothing to See. Okay. Thank you very much for reading my email. Thanks for the valuable advice. No problem, brother. This is from my boy Chris. Appreciate the cynicism, and you're genuinely hilarious, brother. Can't wait to see you next time you're in St. Louis, and we can have this talk in person. So let's say you wake up tomorrow, and the world has deemed you the savior of humanity, and it's up to you to create the game plan to save us all from the destruction coming around the corner. You have all the power, money, resources, etc. to make this plan work to your full expectations. What's the play? What's the play? I will have a real hard time not just going to the moon like Dr. Manhattan. You know what I mean? Just like leave y'all on your own. I will be real hard pressed not to do that. But in the spirit of the question, I don't know. I mean, first of all, I would get real liberal and socialist about it, because there's no reason why people should be starving when we produce enough food to feed the world 3 times over, that kind of thing. So that would be the first thing. I would socialize the farms. Basically, anything people needed to survive, I would socialize. The food supply. There would be no private water. I would smother the deserts in solar panels. I would make a hard march towards renewable energy. Because nobody lives out there. I would just paint every inch of desert that nobody lives in would just be solar panel. I don't even know if that would be enough, honestly. Maybe work on something in space, building a giant solar panel in space. I don't know, because I don't know the science behind that. I would definitely get rid of every nuclear weapon. That would be gone. I would kill every world leader. I would not. Everybody that's in power right now would be gone. I would take them all the fuck out. I would connect the whole world with the highest speed internet possible. Man. And I guess I would have to think about more of that. But you're saying I got all the power, all the money, all the resources. Yeah, I think I would start there. And just as a caveat, I would ban white women from posting pictures of them sitting on the toilet. I don't understand what this is about. Why this is like a trend. I guess it's about this. It's saying I'm edgy, everybody over there. I don't know. I don't get it. This is so dumb. No, that's that's too far. Brian, you're going too far. Hey, Brian, looking forward to seeing you in Chicago. I wanted to share with you my tech talk about buying TVs and get your opinion on the state of smart TVs nowadays. My TV broke recently after being used daily for 3 years. My last 2 TVs have been TCL Roku TVs. First one broke after 2 years, then the second one, so I figured I'd try one of the big name brand TVs. Big mistake. So I ruled out Samsung immediately because of the problem my buddy's Samsung TV had, where the TV did not know what a Nintendo Switch was and had no interest in connecting to it, despite us using 3 different HDMI cords, one of which we bought brand new. The other was the cord that came with the Nintendo. Before smart TVs, I had a solid LG TV and a Sony TV that was a beast. So it was between those two. Spent one Saturday. I would go with those. You can't really go bad, but when it comes to Sony and when it comes to the big names, it's only worth it if you're going to get their high-end shit. If you're going to try to get their low-level shit, I wouldn't do that. Okay. So it was between Sony and LG. Spent one Saturday shopping around and make sure I got the best price, and I found a 55-inch LG Smart TV for $400. Well, that's not going to be a good TV, bruh. $410 total with taxes and a warranty. Well, bro, that's not going to be a nice TV. By the way, between Mayher, Target, I don't know what Mayher is, Target and Best Buy, Walmart had the best deals on TVs. Brought it home and started setting it up. After getting adjusted to the frustrating UI of LG, everything seemed great until I ran into some issues connecting it to the internet. The TV could view all the available networks. It would even connect sometimes, but it couldn't finish a 15-minute YouTube video without disconnecting, even after plugging in. Okay, after 3 hours of unhelpful Google searches with solutions like, have you tried turning it off? All right. I found a Reddit post about troubleshooting this problem on my exact TV, and it was a 14-step process that involved changing the country of origin 3 times, so you'd be asked to agree to a different privacy laws for different countries. And I know I could have gone through the entire 14-step program just to have a TV that still doesn't work. So I said, fuck it, and reboxed the TV and returned it. For the TCL Roku TV, I've gotten 2 times before. $100 cheaper than the LG, and I got a 5-year warranty. So the next TV is, yeah. That's the thing, bro. I knew where this was going when the email started. Yeah, you if you're gonna go to one of the high end brands, you got to get one of their high end TVs. And the truth is, if you're spending hundreds of dollars on a TV, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You get what you pay for. And in the TV world, you spending $400 on the TV total with taxes and everything, and expecting it to perform great is the equivalent of you spending, like 50 cents on a condom and be like, but it broke. It's like, well, yeah, it did. Even the nice ones break sometimes, but that's a very, very, very low end TV. And even if you weren't having Wi-Fi problems, you was gonna have some kind of problem. Whereas I think TCL, they kind of live in that budget space. And even though they don't, those low budget, even though like the high end TCL TVs are amazing too. Because we talking like in the thousands, in the multiple thousands of dollars. Every brand, TCL, Sony, LG, Samsung. When you get up to that area, that's when you start. You can really set your expectations high. Now, I'm not saying you don't have the right to be pissed about this because it should still work. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you're switching to one of the high end brands, their low end shit is trash, like always. It has the lowest quality assurance and all of that shit. I say if you want to get a nice TV, you looking relatively nicer TV than what you've been fucking with. You looking in the $1,100, $1,200 range. Anything below $1,000 is gonna be okay. At best, it's gonna be fine. And I know for some people, like spending $1,000 on a TV sounds crazy, but you can, I think I say like $1,300 is probably the lowest I would spend on if I'm buying a TV for somebody I know, it's gonna be about that, about $1,300, somewhere in that price range, and that's just because like once you start getting above that. That's for like enthusiasts. You don't buy shit like that for other people. You don't buy, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 TVs for other people. Because the truth is, if you've been rocking the $300 Roku TCL TV for years, anything above that is gonna blow your fucking mind. So you don't need. You're not out here pixel peeping and whatnot. So, good luck with that. One more. What up, devil? I like it. Fellow Marine here, I see. I got out the Marine Corps in 2015. Medical separation. Okay. And I think we've met at the PX on Camp Penn before. No, we have not. Maybe. I mean, I've been on Pendleton a handful of times. And I probably been at the PX on Pendleton maybe half of those times. So us meeting there the chances are slim, but we'll see. Maybe not. Who gives a shit? There you go. There are a few questions I'm going to ask you, and maybe I should be asking other married men, but I'll ask you anyways because, one, you are logical, and two, we relate a bit being dark green Marines. Okay, dark green Marines means just black Marines. It was just there was a period in the Marine Corps, apparently still after I got out, where people, like, they wouldn't say you was black, they would say dark green. It was a weird thing where people were afraid that they were trying to be sensitive, but it ended up just being it. Anyway, I immediately got out of the Marine Corps and moved to San Francisco, where I went to City College. Oh, we have a similar story. Because the BAH there was high and I actually got into the Marine Corps from the Bay Area, I would go back and forth to Las Vegas to house sit for a retired Marine I knew. And when I was there, I would search for some Vegas pussy. Why not? Well, Vegas pussy doesn't sound, okay. Now I'm half black and into, wait a minute, now I'm half black. Okay, that's what it looked like you saying. I think you've been half black the whole time. And into college-educated girls of color. Okay, Latina, black, Indian. I know what of color means. Japanese, whatever. I ended up meeting my now wife there, a Caribbean mama, big booty, 5 feet, and we just bought her some titties. Okay? She made me wait for the poontang and ended up getting it after becoming her boyfriend. About 2 years goes by and my lease in San Francisco was up, so I ended up moving into her house in Las Vegas with her. She's adamant about having kids. It's now 2017 and she's hella fertile and I'm on prime time, so by 2018 my firstborn is made and I'm going to hospital for C. diff and polynoidal cysts removals. Okay, well she's there helping me. Helping the kid. The government is paying our way through living and birth, so she got back to work 6 months to a year after this birth. We were in the real estate, so ended up moving to our first flip. Man, there's a lot of extra information in here, devil. I'm in and out of school due to continued hardships. COVID starts, and I end up going to the hospital 2 times in late 2020 and early 2021 for about 21 days apiece. And I finally am diagnosed with severe ulcerative colitis. Ooh. That's fucking tough, bro. A lot of Marines came out with them with gut problems, man. You know, I think it's them MREs, man. You ain't meant to have that much preservatives, you know, for that amount of time. I shed so much blood that it gave me a blood transfusion. Okay. In between hospitalizations, I ended up getting my wife pregnant, and our second came out. Damn, so you, hold on, my nigga. You in and out the hospital for shit and blood, and you still fucking? Damn, I think my man virile. Okay. And our second came out. So we made them back to back, essentially. My wife was working at a hospital as a social worker at the time, making, I don't know, a cool $80K, had the VA money incoming and going to school on and off, and only job that paid and only Bitcoin, doing digital marketing, mostly doing graphics and shit all at home. We ended up moving out after the pandemic in 2022 to our third flip that I currently am in. We both work on these flips, and it's more like a live and flip situation. We are not in a rush. Every 2 years or so, we move. She works for the VA now on the suicide hotline, making a cool GS-12 payment of about $96K, blah, blah, blah. And now since my wife doesn't wake, so she works from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And now since my wife doesn't wake till 9 a.m., I'm stuck waking up with the kids and watching the kids all day because, of course, she needs at least 1 to 4 hours a day to herself. Okay, that makes sense. So I wake up with the kids, I go to sleep with the kids, and for about half of the time between 9 a.m. and 4 a.m., you guessed it, I'm with the kids. All right? Those your kids, nigga. Also, doesn't help that my mom also lives with us. Oh, God. See, that right there, that's a no-no. And she's a nice little German lady in her early 60s. She quit her job to help with the kids, but now that the kids are older, she only does whatever is convenient to her. I think my wife thinks because she's the only one working, remember, I'm bringing in cash, she's entitled to all this free time. When, here's the kicker, if I complete my degree, I will surely get paid more than she does. We've done decent for being 36. Money isn't an issue. If I wanted to do anything right now, I'm sure I can go gung-ho on any business, self-funded. My hospitalizations and absence from school and having 2 kids put me here. My kids are 5 and 4. Both can read pretty good. I've done a lot to teach them, but it's not as satisfying as doing something hard, man. And I can't do anything hard because I'm tied down all day. I have always been a learner or doing creative shit, and now I'm singing ABCs and taking the kids to birthday parties on Saturdays because she works on Saturdays too. It's mentally fucking with me. But you didn't ask me a question. You said there are a few questions I'm going to ask you, but you never asked any questions. So you know, I guess what I don't understand what your issue is here. You a stay-at-home dad, nigga. You know what I mean? That's part of it. I mean, you have all the same complaints that stay-at-home moms be having. Now, I mean, if you need a little more time to yourself, I mean, first of all, you know, the wifey's working. Moms is living there rent-free. Nah, moms, you got to babysit these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. I need time. You got to babysit these motherfucking kids. You know what I'm saying? Or we got to find you a home. Or you can stay living here and we're going to take the money we would have spent on putting you in a nursing home and we'll put these motherfucking kids in daycare. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, because it's understandable if your wife worked them hours. It's understandable she got to sleep. It's understandable she need 1 to 4 hours a day to herself. But it's also understandable that you need time to yourself. You know what I mean? 4 and 5. So one of them is about to go to school, right? So that's going, you know, once they go into school, you know, you're going to have the whole school day to yourself, which will be awesome. And I say you win. I say that's a winner right there. That's the winning move. Once both kids in school, because I think you start going to school at 5. Once both kids in school, that's the cheat code. You got the whole goddamn day to yourself. See, I'm the type of motherfucker where, like, I'm going to start hiring people. You know what I mean? And like you said, the day will come where the situation is going to be reversed, where you're going to be making all the motherfucking money. And y'all going to either, you know, y'all going to either have to put them kids in daycare or you're going to have to, or she going to have to quit her job, I don't know. Or I forget whether it was your mom or her mom that stand with you, but she going to have to contribute. Fuck out of here. Ain't no free lunch out here, motherfucker. You know what I mean? First of all, I wouldn't have my mama living with me. If y'all making money like that, ain't no motherfucking way. That's just problems in and of itself. Especially because, you know, I don't know how you and your mom and your I don't know how the mom and the wife get along, but that's probably an issue too. Part of that time she needs to herself is probably just away from the old lady that lives in your house. You know what I'm saying? So maybe y'all have a communication problem. You know. I mean, you also have to understand, too, because of the nature of your wife's work, you know, she's taking on a lot of residual trauma from listening to people's trauma. You know, she's literally convincing people not to kill themselves on a daily basis. I'm sorry, not to unalive themselves. Damn YouTube algorithm. This is so fucking dumb that we got to talk like that. You know, but yeah, it sounds like y'all got a communication problem. You definitely do. You know, it's a lot of miscellaneous details in here. And again, you never asked me a question. At least I don't think so. So I had to infer a lot of things. So if my answer wasn't clear, you know, right back in and, you know. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Hey, Brian, was watching episode 108, all right, where you mentioned not trying to convince people about their beliefs. It made me remember a documentary I watched about a magician, the Amazing Randi. I love the Amazing Randi, who proved to the congregation that the preacher, Peter Popoff, was lying to them by using a hidden earpiece. The Amazing Randi went on a talk show where the people from the congregation made him out to be the bad guy. Here's an article about it. Yeah, man, you know, plenty of studies have already been done about this by now. But when it comes to people's core beliefs, or even right above that level of belief, hitting them with facts to the contrary does not change their mind. In fact, it makes them double down. Right? Especially when you're when you're talking about a belief that's also part of someone's identity is what I'm talking about. When I say core belief, I mean a foundational belief that, you know, that other beliefs are standing on top of. You know what I mean? So if you were to shatter that belief, they would have to reevaluate all these other things, right? Think about it like this. It's like part of your core belief is like, oh, you know, my mom is my mom. That's part of my core belief, you know, or my dad is my dad. We're the Johnsons. I'm a Johnson. My dad's with it's like that's part of who you are, right? And then you find out you were adopted. Well, now it's shattered one of your core beliefs. Now you're not a Johnson. Well, now who are you? And who is your dad, right? And so you got to answer. So my point is, you know, especially when it comes to religion, you know, most people are going to double down. I've never known anyone that's been talked out of their religion. I know people, you know, and I'm one of them, that gave up their religion on their own from doing their own searching and seeking and educating. And I'll say maybe it was sparked a little by talking to other non-believers or whatever, but nobody ever like made some strong argument and I walked away like, you know what, maybe I'm not Christian. You know, no one's going to do that. You know, because, you know, part of the doctrine is that questioning it is not allowed. You know, so just questioning, you know, no matter how much sense you're making, you're scaring the shit out of people. People will fight tooth and nail. They'll want to fight you. I've had people want to fight me just from knowing that I'm a non-believer. Just not me trying to convince them of nothing, because it sparks some sort of insecurity in them. Where they immediately feel the need to prove you wrong, and it's a bigger need than like people, you know, like a hardcore Christian can find out I'm a Muslim or find out I'm a Buddhist or find out I'm a Mormon, and they're fine with that. You know, no matter how much my beliefs clash with theirs, they're perfectly fine with that. But if I say I'm an atheist or I'm agnostic, it 9 times out of 10 it turns into an argument. You know, because because you just by you saying that, you're saying what? You're saying, because the next question is, well, why? Right? And you can't answer that question without calling them stupid. Basically, well, it sounds stupid to me. I don't believe it. It's not enough evidence. Because they've believed it. So by you saying you don't believe it, what are you saying? You were tricked. You were duped. You know, and so it turns into that. It turns into that back and forth trying to prove something to you. It's like, I don't even bother with that shit no more. I don't argue with nobody. As soon as the conversation, you what? Yeah. I go, well, why? It's like, I don't even know. You know, because I'm not trying to convince you, and you don't realize the conversation you're trying to have. I've had it 1,000 times, and it's exhausting, and there's literally nothing that comes from it. Yeah, Amazing Randi. He was also the guy that he raised money. He dedicated his life to like exposing frauds and charlatans and like these sorts of people that claim that, you know, they was talking to your dead relatives and, you know, these sorts of people that was taking people's money, telling them that they could, you know, cure them, or his whole life was dedicated to that. And in fact, I believe it was him that he has a grant, and I think it's still out there today, that and it was $1 million at the time, and I want to say this was the late 90s, early 2000s. I forget what the name of the organization is, but basically, anyone that can prove under laboratory conditions that they have some sort of supernatural ability gets $1 million, and I'm sure, and it's in a trust, so I'm sure now it's probably $4 or $5 million, right? And if you claim you do, they will send a team to your house to do a preliminary tests outside of the laboratory. And if you pass that, they give you $10,000. And then fly you to the lab. And if you pass that, you get the rest of the money. Right? No one's ever made it past the preliminary tests. No one's ever made it, at least, as of a few years ago when I last looked. Right? And no one's passed the laboratory test because they can't, because it's bullshit. Nobody has psychic powers. Nobody, because think about it. If you was a legit psychic, you would have went and snatched up that money right away. Right? It's millions of dollars for free because you can fucking read minds or see the future or talk to dead people or whatever. Right? So it's like, it's all nonsense. And he proved his whole life to proving that. All these people are frauds and charlatans. But oftentimes people fucking double down. The same thing happened to, what was his name? Was it Uri Geller or something? He fucked up a trick on the Tonight Show. Right? I believe I think he was trying to move a straw or bend a spoon or some shit, and he fucked it up the trick, and people were like, oh, but that's the end of his career. Nope, he was more popular than ever after that. That's why I don't believe in the world. People are so fickle and they just want to, I don't know, man. I don't understand how that happens. I mean, you see it now, right? How many times have you seen something on the internet and you see somebody fuck up in a way that you think is irreparable, like their reputation, and then they become more popular? You know what I mean? Because there's always someone out there that's willing to be on your side or stir the pot. The world is run by trolls now. The trolls have won. We fed the trolls. The internet tried to warn us from the beginning, don't feed the trolls. We fed the trolls, and now they out here. They'll never ever not be con men, and they'll never ever not be fools. So desperate to feel special that you can sell them their dreams. That's all con men do. They fucking listen to they listen to your dreams and they sell them to you. They find out what you really, really want, and they dangle the possibility of it in front of you. Oh, you might be special. You might be the one. For whatever reason, the spirits are telling me to talk to you. It's that. It's like some people want to feel special. They want to have hope. And it's a bunch of motherfucking dream merchants out here. They're like, that's their whole shit. It's to sell you hope. And so, but thank you, fellow Amazing Randi fan. And that's the final email. I'm not a big wow. See, this is the kind of shit that make me not want to be a liberal. Look at this. Middle school bans all black clothing, citing mental health concerns. Middle school bans all black clothing, meaning you can't wear all black, right? A Texas middle school is banning students from wearing all black clothing because school officials say it's associated with mental health issues. You gotta fix the mental health issues, idiot. What the fuck is wrong with people? It's associated with mental health issues. Jesus Christ. These are... Of course, this is Texas. El Paso, by the way, everyone. Students at Charles Middle School in El Paso, Texas, headed back to school Monday, days after a letter from Principal Nick DeSantis outlined the school's new dress code policy. The letter says the school is eliminating all black clothing because it is associated with depression and mental health issues and or criminality. Norma De La Rosa, the president of El Paso Teachers Association, explained in more detail why the policy is in place and what clothing is allowed. She says teachers see a sudden change in students going from dressing with color to all black when they are depressed or stressed. The clothing didn't make them depressed or stressed. You're not allowed to express your depression, is what you're saying to people. That's not going to help. You know what I mean? It's like, what? How can the people in charge of educating people be so fucking stupid? What they are not allowing is for students to wear clothing that is black from top to bottom, she said. They can wear black shorts to go to PE. They can wear it on a free dress day, but they just cannot wear it from top to bottom. That's not going to stop people from being depressed. Many parents and community members disagree with the policy, commenting online that clothing color doesn't define a person's mental state. Oh, wow. Wow. So, see, this all it takes is one idiot. And there's millions of them in places of authority. It only takes one stupid to make the weakest link in the chain make the whole chain weak. And so, and there's literally millions and millions of weak links. That's why I don't believe in us. I don't believe that if the solution to anything is that we all work together, it's never going to fucking happen because of people like this. Whoever made this decision is a fucking idiot, and they shouldn't be in charge of children or anything. This person should not be an educator. How do you even get in a position to educate people and you don't realize how absolutely fucking bonkers it is to think that because a lot of depressed kids wear all black, which isn't true, that if you ban all black, that will somehow what? Stop people from being depressed? Do you think that you've made some sort of major scientific breakthrough? Oh, guys, it turns out the cure for depression is just not wearing black top to bottom. Get off that Zoloft, nigga. Put on a fucking rainbow hoodie, you fucking sad. This don't make any sense. It doesn't make, you should have to justify, like, this woman should have to stand in front of the parents, the PTA meeting, and explain this. I would love to see this person have to explain this to anyone. Like, really get grilled. Making students wear a different color is going to magically make them a different person. No, it's not. So the colors are not so much to prevent or stop mental health issues. You can have the most colorful dress on and still be suffering through depression. The El Paso Independent School District said in a statement that the middle school is updating its uniform policy to enhance students' well-being and sense of pride. Schools in the district are allowed to create their own dress code. Well, maybe they shouldn't be. Because this is asinine. You're not allowed to wear black top to bottom. I mean, man, Texas is in trouble, bro. That's why I think if I ever have kids, I would have to leave here. I wouldn't want to raise my kids here. Because the school districts aren't consistent. You fuck around and move, and now your kids are learning wild, dumb shit. Oh, slaves were happy and shit like that. You know what I mean? They was actually happy to not have to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit white people want to hear. Slavery was actually a good thing. Inside robbery. Okay, last one. Then we can get the fuck out of here. Wow. Live crab found snapping at snacks inside a vending machine. How is that possible? How long can they live outside the water? A man in Iowa found something very unusual stuck in the vending machine. So Mesa said he took a photo after several people tried to use a second-floor vending machine. On Thursday, several people who wanted to get some snacks from the machine found something else snapping at them. Mesa said people originally believed there was a mouse in the machine. But what he found is a crab snapping at people. But wait a minute, this is a Chesapeake blue crab at the library. It was found in the computer lab. This crab also ended up passing away. Well, no shit. But we got to get to the bottom of who the fuck put that there. Like, this is Iowa. It's like who is carrying around crabs to stash in vending machine? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, is that a pastime out there? Like crab stashing? I don't get it. Okay, I lied. One more. Dallas bar called the Whippersnapper hosts weekly dildo races to create good vibes. See what I mean? The Whippersnapper in Knox Henderson is known for unique and irreverent one-off events. Yes, you read that correctly. Every Thursday, the Whip invites customers to race dildos, vibrators to be more specific. Contestants choose from the bar's in-house selection of dildos, which come in a wide variety of vibrant prints, ranging from roses to aliens, and they pick the intensity setting they think will be most effective. They then place the device at the top of a sloping track and let it buzz and jerk all the way down. The first dildo to cross the finish line wins, and its operator makes it to the next round. The champion of the evening takes home a cash prize, which was $100 when we went on Thursday. And don't worry, these vibrators were purchased just for this event and have never been used for their originally intended purpose. The Whip's general manager and host for the evening, Ryan Chris, did promise free drinks to anyone who brought their own vibrator. Nobody took him up on that. What? The whole event was Chris's idea. The Whippersnapper is no stranger to esoteric competitions, having raced Roombas and goldfish before. But when Chris came across the idea of racing dildos on social media, he doesn't remember exactly where. He knew it was just the event he needed to up the ante, and the public reaction has proven him right. I don't know, man. I don't know. That don't sound like fun to me. I also don't understand why you wouldn't bring your own dildo that you're more familiar with. But you know what? They're not hurting nobody. You know, they ain't hurting nobody. I want to know: do they allow side bets? What's going on? Red's in the lead. What's going on here? What makes one dildo better than the other? Why isn't the highest intensity setting the best one? Is it what they saying? Choose your intensity. What they mean by that? All the way up, right? How would that not be the most effective? I'm trying. Is there a certain I just have questions more than anything. No judgment. I just have questions more than anything because this makes way more sense than banning all black clothing to prevent depression. This makes sense to me. That shit don't make sense. You know? We're all doomed. That's going to be our episode. Don't forget, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, and you want advice from the advice champ, email me at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. And don't forget to come see me on tour. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, support, whatever. We'll be starting up another Patreon here in the next couple of weeks for bonus content and bonus episodes. I love you all. Keep it tight, Beaver Puss.